What is going on, everybody? It is Dylan with Astrodfs bringing you something new I'm going to bring to the channel this year, and that is look at the spreads. Early look at the spreads. So, I want to bring, we're bringing betting into what we produce, so it's something else that I want to make content on. And this is just an early look. This is not anything crazy to jump on, even though some of the bets you probably should jump on. But news always kind of fluctuates where these lines end up. So first of all is tomorrow night's game, the Panthers and Texans right now. Panthers are an 8-point favorite, which to me is still very low. We've seen the Texans play every team good so far this season. I mean, they blew out Jacksonville, and they kept it close with Cleveland. But the thing is they're going to be without Tyrod Taylor, who's pretty much led that offense. David Mills is going to be their quarterback, and I don't think he has what it takes to beat the number one defense right now. Like, Carolina's defense is exceeding expectations by a long shot. And the way Houston's defense is terrible, and Carolina's had a pretty efficient offense. Christian McCaffrey is probably going to get fed a lot here, and I don't think there's anybody that could stop the DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson duo. So Carolina at -8, I'd take that. We go down. Some of these lines, I think are pretty fair. Like Washington +8 seems kind of good to me. The Bears-Browns, I'm probably going to stay away from that one. Detroit versus Baltimore, also probably going to stay away from that one, even though I do right now like Detroit at +9. I'm still probably going to stay away. Titans at Colts. This one's interesting to me. Carson Wentz is definitely banged up. He's got issues with both his ankles right now. And Titans are a 5.5-point favorite. For me, I'm going to take that right now before the Carson Wentz news, because Carson Wentz news, you're going to get Jacob Eason as the starting quarterback. And Tennessee, their defense is playing terrible, don't get me wrong. But the Colts defense is playing even worse, and I can't really see them stopping A.J. Brown and Julio. I think this is a game where you see those two receivers take off. Not to mention you have Derrick Henry, who just had an incredible, crazy game. So I really like Titans at 5.5 right now. I think that's pretty good. I'd probably put them at 7 once the Carson Wentz news comes. If Carson Wentz even plays, I'm still liking the Titans here. Carson Wentz gets hurt a lot throughout his career, and with two bad ankles, I just see nothing good coming out of that for the Colts. So Titans at 5.5 is definitely a spread that I am taking right now. The Chiefs and Chargers, I'm more going on the over-under than worrying about the spread. Chargers lost to Dallas, but their defense has been playing pretty good. Chiefs defense has been really bad, but their offense has been really good. So I could see this going either way. So like I said, I'd probably stay away. If anything, I do Chargers at 6.5. But they did get stopped by Dallas's defense, which worries me a little bit. Saints and Patriots, I'm probably staying away from this game as well. I could see Jameis doing what Jameis did in week 1, of just being efficient when you needed to. Vice versa, Patriots defense has been pretty good, and Mac Jones has been controlling the game a lot. So I don't know. That's one that I'm probably staying away from in whole. Falcons and Giants, I like the Giants at -3. Falcons have been pretty good offensively. We've seen the Giants defense be all over the place. We thought Bradbury was going to be a lock, and McLaurin did a lot with him. And then we've seen the Falcons defense just be terrible. Got lit up by Philly week 1. Definitely got lit up last week against Tampa Bay, and they tried to stay in that game as long as they could, but they just couldn't. Giants offense, like I said, has been pretty good. They might get Evan Ingram back, which is just an add-on. So Giants at -3, I do like this week. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. I actually like Cincinnati at +3. There's a lot of injuries going on in Pittsburgh right now. And Cincinnati's defense hasn't been the worst. I expected them to be a lot worse than they are right now. And with how good their offense can be, I mean, we saw Gerald Burrow throw 3 straight picks, but they almost brought it back against the Bears last week. So +3 against Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh just lost to the Raiders. I kind of like Cincinnati in that game. Arizona Cardinals are only 7.5-point favorites against Jacksonville. I'm probably going to hop on that one too. Jacksonville just hasn't been playing good. We've seen Denver, who I think is a very good defense. Their offense was efficient against Jacksonville, and Jacksonville really couldn't do a whole lot. Arizona's offense has been red hot, and their defense week 1 was great. Their defense last week, shaky. Jets and Broncos. As much as I'd like to take the Broncos, I'm 2-0 with the Broncos this year against the spread, so I'd like to stay on them. And with how Zach Wilson just played. But the Jets actually do have a good defense, so I'm kind of seeing this being a low-scoring game, and it's just being a defensive battle. But yeah, I'm probably staying away from this one for the most part too. 10.5 is very hard to predict and get that score. Miami at Vegas. This one is interesting to me. Both quarterbacks with injuries. I think if Derek Carr is in this game, you take Raiders. But if Derek Carr's in this game, I'd probably avoid this game. I don't believe Tua is going to play. I believe it's going to be Jacoby Brissett. Miami's defense has not looked as great as we thought they would. And their offense has had some struggles as well. I don't know. For this one, it's just watching the injury news and see what's up with these quarterbacks. Because if both quarterbacks are out, I'm totally staying away from that game. Because I think you get like Nathan Peterman and Jacoby Brissett, and I'd rather take Jacoby Brissett than Peterman if that still is the case. I know Mariota's injured as well. Tampa Bay at the Rams. This one, I'm actually leaning towards the Rams, and the reason being is Tampa Bay, probably top 3 offense, probably the most efficient offense, number 1. And you get the Rams, who also have been good offensively. They did give up a lot more than I thought they were against the Colts, which worries me. But we've yet to see Tampa Bay run the ball efficiently. And the Rams' pass defense has been pretty good yet. They did get lit up by Carson Wentz there, especially towards the end of the game. But I do like the Rams against Tampa Bay secondary. I think Matt Stafford is going to see a great game against that secondary. He has a very good offensive line that can probably hold that defensive line a lot better than most teams have against Tampa Bay. So I kind of like the Rams here at 1.5 underdogs. Seattle at Minnesota, I'm probably just taking the over on this. Both defenses have been playing terribly, and their offenses have been playing very well. So I'll probably take the over and just stay away. If I were to take a spread, I'd probably lean towards Seattle. Green Bay at San Francisco. I think this one's going to be interesting. San Francisco's defense did play good against Philly last week, which did shock me. And Green Bay's offense with Aaron Jones looked really good against a terrible Detroit defense. Where I'm leaning towards this is San Francisco's really good defensive line playing against Green Bay's banged up offensive line. Green Bay's secondary is shaky. I could see San Francisco easily, if Garoppolo is efficient, taking this game by a lot more than 3.5. At the same time, if Garoppolo is not efficient, which we've seen him be, and Aaron Rodgers just finds a rhythm with Devontae, finds some rhythm with MVS, which is hit or miss, it seems. Green Bay could easily come back and take it, but at this point, I'm probably leaning towards that San Francisco 3.5. Philly at Dallas. This one for me is a very big toss-up. I like Dallas at 3.5. That's probably where I'm going to lean towards. I do like Philly. I just think with what we saw from Dallas' defense against the Chargers and what we could see out of Dallas' offense, and with Philly's depleted secondary, they've been playing a lot better. They have. But I just can't see that Philly secondary holding up for too much longer. And especially with Dallas. The one thing that does worry me just a tiny bit is Amari Cooper's injury status. If Cooper's down, you still get CeeDee Lamb, who's going to be their wide receiver one. You get Wilson that steps up. And they're probably going to rely on their tight ends a little more, as well as using Zeke and Tony Pollard, who had an amazing game. But I'm still leaning towards that Dallas 3.5. So hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment. Our Discord link will be in the description down below. So head over to that, guys. If you want to get our actual picks, we do have them for Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday night as well. So if you guys are interested in DFS, that's our main product, but we also are getting into bets. So definitely head over there, guys, and thank you for watching the video.